Good morning, traders. It is Monday, June 10th. Another week beginning. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators. Quick reminder, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, give us a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to know what else we have coming up in the very near future. And of course, leave any feedback down in the comments below. Any symbols you'd like analyzed, any concepts or techniques that you would like explained, things like that. Throw them down there, and I will be happy to do what I can to help you out in your trading. Pardon me. Got a little frog in my throat this morning. Let's take a look at the markets. Starting with the S&P 500, and we've had this tremendous bounce here, very hard to the upside after pulling back to the 38.2 retracement level. Basically, this ABC correction was done right there and turned around. And right now we are at a very key level. Technically, we've even already actually broken this lower high. However, we did not hold it. Right now, it poked above it and came right back down below it. You can see that happening right here. And right this instant, we are riding that 13 EMA and trying to decide what it wants to do. We do have a bit of a divergence forming on the 60-minute chart. So would not surprise me to see this be the point where we pull back for a wave 2, because my belief is that we're looking at a wave 1. Now we're going to have a wave 2, and then we will be moving forward for the wave 3. So just anticipating that retracement to begin somewhere around this level. So today might very well be the day. We won't know till the market opens, but right now it's looking like there's some potential. So just keep your eyes out for that. The trend at the moment certainly is still up on the bigger picture, but we're going to have a retracement against the trend. So don't just blindly jump into the long side. Retracement wave 2 could last, heck, it could last all week and come down, or it could be just 2 or 3 days, something like that. Typically, moves against the trend, counter trend moves, and specifically moves to the downside are much faster and short-lived. So it might just be 2 or 3 down candles, something like that, before we're finished. But we'll just have to see. It's all going to depend on what the buyers and sellers want to do in this market. But right now, clearly we've got a much larger divergence even here, which you can see very, very clearly. And that's something you always want to be looking for, is a divergence at what you believe is probably going to be, or reasonably should be, the end of the move. So watch out for that. Right now, technically on a daily basis, we are still in the bear camp. Oscillators below the zero line, but you can see we've got the MACD line crossing the zero line right this moment, and crossed its signal line back here a little while ago. Gave us an early sneak preview of what was to come, especially on this very bullish morning star pattern here. So all signs right now, again, are pointing to the move down is done, but we are going to have a correction. And a wave 2 correction often can come almost all the way back down to the bottom. So we might even see a double bottoming, or maybe just a slightly higher low, something like that. That is what we're looking for. Of course, if the market should sell off and take out this low and head lower, then what we're really looking at is this whole thing was wave A, and then we had a wave B, and now we're looking for wave C, which is still technically possible. We don't know for sure which scenario is going to play out quite yet. We're just playing the probabilities. But right now, the probability is that this is, in fact, the wave 1 up. So we'll have to see what happens on the pullback, and we get a higher low and turn around. Then we have a pretty good confirmation that the trend has reversed, and the next move is a wave 3 to the upside. All right, let's take a look at RTY. Russell 2000 is going to look very much the same after coming down almost to the target area that I was looking for. Just came to just about kiss the 38.2 and then bounce higher from there. Very, very similar pattern, very similar outcome to the ES. And in fact, we've got the same type of thing happening with a big divergence right here at what is probably the end of wave 1. I think that is a reasonable expectation. Of course, if the market this morning, buyers come rushing in and we just shoot higher, then it is not the end of wave 1, and it is looking to continue a little further. But right now, anyway, it would not surprise me at all to see a pullback begin, and we have a divergence at that same level. So things are certainly looking like they could pull back from here, in which case we've got to stay above this low here. And that would be a wave 1 up, wave 2, and then we're looking for a wave 3 up from there. So keep your eyes on the market and be ready either to trade to the downside for day traders if we're going to have a little bit of a pullback here, or just be prepared to wait. If you're a long trader, you want to wait until the pullback shows that it's done, shows a sign of a higher low, and reverses to the upside. And then you can jump along for the wave 3 ride, which should be considerably larger. There should be some really nice upside in that. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. And crude has bounced from coming down into this buy zone here, this congestion area from the past, and is now bouncing and trying to get out of it. But right this instant, it's kind of stuck. We've got a little bit of a divergence going on, sort of a double top right here, where the oscillator was not able to go higher, but price was able to go higher. So that's something to watch out for. But really, it's going to depend on the daily chart. Right now, anyway, daily chart is looking a little indecisive. We certainly did have a nice reversal here, but now we've got a doji. We're not really sure what's going on. MACD line has not yet successfully crossed its signal line. Oscillator is clearly still well below the zero line. So things are not real super clear quite yet. I mean, technically, we just barely broke this previous lower high. But yeah, I don't see a really strong confirmation to the upside yet. And the oscillator double topping here just makes me a little bit wary. So just trade cautiously in this market. We might be looking for another pullback, maybe a double bottom before we can go higher, something like that. On the other hand, if the buyers decide to come in and just rush this market, they could push it higher. So if we take this level out with some conviction, a nice big bullish candle or something like that, and if the oscillator can really build some momentum, we could still have some room to the upside. Certainly, this oscillator here has got plenty of room to bounce back to the upside. Even if all it does is come back up and get near the zero line, that's a significant amount of upside. So we could have some follow through on the price. But right now, technically, it's still lower lows and lower highs on the daily chart. So we don't have a confirmed high or low yet, and that is kind of what I'm looking for, is for price to pull back and give us that nice higher low before it launches its next attack to the upside. So watch out for that. All right, let's take a look at the gold market. And gold shot to the upside, very, very strong, had a huge rally, and then just kind of ran out of gas right up basically in this sell zone area here. So we've got divergence, very, very divergent. Things are just looking short term like gold wants a pullback. So I don't think that's at all unreasonable. We could have a pullback if this is part of a wave 1 up, for example, then we'd be looking for wave 2. And then we might have our wave 3 to the upside after this pullback here. So that all kind of fits with what we've been talking about before. So I'm looking for more follow through on a smaller time frame. Of course, this would be potentially wave 1 and then 2 and 3. On a bigger time frame, we're looking at possibly a wave 1, wave 2, and then a wave 3. So we'd be looking at wave 3 of 3. So keep an eye out for that. And we've got to get over this channel line right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back down, maybe to the bottom of the channel, and then head back higher, eventually take out this high and see if it can't then make a move on this area here, right around 1400 to 1450, basically that whole area, because there's major resistance up here, major swing point there, another fairly significant point here. So anywhere in this area, we're going to have to get through that. I expect to see some significant resistance up there at those levels. All right, natural gas has come crashing down into this buy zone, and now it's just going sideways. We've got quite a bit of indecisive action here, not a lot of momentum. Momentum is still very, very low in this market. The price on the shorter term, you can see it's wanting to go higher. We do have a bit of a divergence, a bit of a bullish divergence happening with price double bottoming there and being a heck of a lot higher on the oscillator that second time. And even back here, I mean, divergent, divergent, divergent. divergent. It just keeps on going. So oscillator is certainly looking like it's building strength, but we don't have any confirmation yet. There was this candle here just a couple hours ago that tried to break higher and then just immediately got shoved back down again. But the bulls are trying. They're testing to see what they can get away with, what they can do. Buyers are exploring upside. So I would not be surprised at all to see this market turn around in the near future, but it hasn't happened quite yet. Right now, still lower lows and lower highs, and we don't have anything to really turn that around yet. So be cautious of anything to the upside. Don't just jump in blindly. If you do jump into the upside, you've got plenty of reasonable opportunities to put a stop that are fairly close. You can use the recent lows. You can use a moving average. You could use a lot of different possible things. If you can, of course, if your risk tolerates it, then using the most recent swing point is probably the best approach. But again, really your best approach is to wait for some sort of confirmation to the upside. Nice, big, bullish engulfing candle, something like that to confirm. And then, of course, the following candle giving some follow through as well. And then all right, there's going to be some upside to be had here. All right, last but not least, let's finish up with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin had a little bit of a retracement here. The question now is it done? I mean, did we have our A, our B, and our C, and now we're talking about like a 1, a 2, and a 3 to the upside? I don't know. That's certainly a shallow pullback. I would be expecting more, ideally, but this is crypto we're talking about, and crypto buyers can be, a little bit, a little bit crazy, and they will chase and chase and chase sometimes. So if they want this market really bad, which I believe there are a lot of big money players who want into this market, it's entirely possible that that is going to be all the pullback we get. So we'll have to wait and see. Right now, certainly crypto, Bitcoin in particular, trying to make a strong push to the upside. It's getting stopped right now at this level here. That is definitely acting as resistance. So it got stopped pretty much dead cold right there. But now look at the oscillator. It has broken above the zero line, MACD line above the zero line. Things are looking kind of bullish at the moment on this market. So I would not be surprised at all to see some follow through to the upside. And certainly if this high here can be taken out, then I think there's no question at all that pullback was done. And now there is another move to the upside ready to go. So be prepared for that and just trade carefully because, as I'm sure you know, Bitcoin is extremely volatile and it can turn on a dime. And when it does, you can get huge moves like this and like this. You can get gigantic sudden moves to the downside that happen very, very quickly in just a span of minutes. So if you're not really watching closely, or if you don't have your trading automated, you can get burned pretty quick. So just be careful right now. 60-minute oscillator is showing upside. The daily oscillator, however, is trying to get down below the zero line. So kind of a conflicted message right now. Short term is looking bullish. Long term is kind of looking bearish at the moment, but hasn't quite officially gotten there yet. We're still above the zero line. So it's hanging in there. It's trying to hang on. MACD line is below the signal line, though, and is heading down. So if it can be reversed, if the buyers can step in and reverse this market, then no problem. There could be upside ahead. But if the buyers aren't really strong and they give up the ghost maybe in this resistance area here, this sell zone, something like that, then we could see further downside to come. So just trade cautiously right now, as always, in the Bitcoin market. All right, let's go back to ES real quick. Take a look. Nothing really happened in the last few minutes, so I think we're all good there. All right, I'm going to wrap this up then. That's it for me, Jonathan Van Clute with Stock Navigators. Again, quick reminder, make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you go. Give us a like on the video and throw any comments you may have for me down in the comment area below. And give me any feedback at all on anything that would be helpful that you'd like to see. Let me know, and I'll see what I can do to deliver it for you. All right, I'm going to go get ready for the premium trading room this morning. Those of you who will be there, I'll see you there. And their opening bell in about a half hour. So for everybody who's trading today, good trading today. Have a great one. And I'll be back to do this again on Wednesday. So I will see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.